Welcome to AlbionTV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world, keeping up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2026. I am your host, the show's one, and I am joined today by Robin Hood RS and Bogle for a very special AO Daily Show, as we are here to premiere the latest dev talk on the visual update.
Yeah, I mean, excited to be here. We normally obviously don't be here on Tuesdays, but today is the day that the dev talk is getting pushed out, and we get to have a first sneak peek at said dev talk early here on the Twitch channel before it gets pushed out onto YouTube and everywhere else for public consumption. So you guys get to see it here first here on the Twitch channel. We'll be playing it in a couple minutes time, so if you need to tell your guild mates and whoever else to come join us, please do so.
And I can already tell that we're going to go right off the rails with all these questions because we have so much additional information on the tech stuff that we'd like to share with you. But today's about the graphics. Today is about the visual overhaul. We do have a dev talk on it. We're going to play it right away for you. But while we're watching it, I want to remind you guys, we are giving away 7 days of premium to a few lucky viewers today.
Are we ready, chat? Robin, we ready?
I think we're ready. Robin, you ready?
I've been ready. I've been
ready.
ready for the last 24 hours.
We're like 3 minutes early,
let's
though.
go.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another Albion Online Dev Talk. This is the first of 2 Dev Talks where we'll go in depth on all the changes coming with our next major content update, Radiant Wilds. Across these 2 videos, we'll break everything down step by step and show you what's changing, why we're doing it, and what it means for you. Today, we're starting with the change that gives this update its name, the broad visual improvement of Albion's open world. Before we talk about what's changing, let's take a moment to explain why we decided to make such a major visual step. Albion Online has been around for many years. Over that time, we've expanded the world massively. New biomes, new creatures, new effects, new mechanics. Our art style has always been one of Albion's greatest strengths. It's unique, it's readable, and it has helped the game feel timeless. But staying timeless does not mean standing still. With Radiant Wilds, we're giving Albion's open world a new, more up-to-date look. At the same time, we're making sure to stay true to the characteristic style that has defined Albion from the very beginning. The goal is to keep the world, to keep the game familiar while bringing it to a new visual standard. This will make the world feel fresh for veterans who have been riding through these zones for years, and visually more stunning for the many new players who will be stepping into Albion for the first time, especially with the upcoming Xbox launch. The visual overhaul really is about strengthening Albion Online for many years of development to come. With that out of the way, I have asked one of our environment artists, Johannes Geier, to join us and talk us through what the visual overhaul of the open world actually involves.
If you have played Albion Online for a while, you are probably aware that visual reworks are not necessarily new. The last big rework was released with the Lands Awakened update in 2021. So how does this update differ? The biggest difference with Radiant Wilds is that we changed a good amount of things under the hood and behind the scenes. We added new lighting systems, we removed some of the technical limitations we had, and we created a lot of new tools that let us make big changes in a matter of hours instead of days. So how does this look in-game? If you were to create a new character and start the tutorial, you would not only see a new and improved tutorial beach scene, you would also immediately notice some of the bigger changes we made. A new water shader system, improved atmospheric lighting, better colors and contrasts, and a lot of new textures. With the goal of modernizing the look of the game, we focused on enhancing the biome's unique visual, strengthening variation and immersion. For example, making the steppes feel more hot and sand-blown, or making the swamps look more humid. We turned up the color intensity and strength of sunlight to make every biome feel more unique and immersive. We added cloud shadows to make the world come alive even beyond your screen. The sun is now also reflected properly by glittering snow, sand, and wet surfaces. With changes to ground textures, we wanted to enhance this feeling of physicality, that you are not just walking on a flat surface, but actually on an uneven, messy ground, like mossy undergrowth, sandy dunes, or muddy marshes. Same goes for the new water. You see the sky, clouds, and sun reflect on its ripples and waves as they wash onto the shore. We wanted to make the water feel real, refreshing and cooling in the steppes, freezing cold in the mountains, and dirty, muddy in the swamps. Lastly, something else that was important to us was to align Albion's environment a bit more with the designs of our character models, which includes mobs and of course you, the player. We wanted to bring some of the vibrant colors and playful shapes of our character designs into the world itself. With Radiant Wilds, Albion's vast open world will be more immersive than ever before, and we hope that you will enjoy what we have to offer.
We are super excited to get these changes into your hands and see you exploring the improved open world. Now, before we move on, I want to address one important topic that we know is on many of your minds: performance. One of the biggest concerns we've seen from players is that a visual overhaul might mean higher hardware requirements or slower performance overall. We're confident to say that this is not the case. The recommended system specifications will not increase with Radiant Wilds. We've been doing extensive performance profiling throughout development to make sure the visual improvements do not negatively impact the game. On top of that, we're also working on broader client optimizations alongside this update. While this heavily depends on your hardware and which activities you do on Albion, we are confident you will actually see improved performance compared to before. So, now that you've seen what's changing visually, let's get to the part you probably care about most. When can you jump in and try it yourselves? Radiant Wilds is coming soon. The update goes live in less than a month on April 13th. And shortly after this dev talk goes out, you'll be able to try it yourself on our staging servers and give us your feedback. This update is a big step for Albion, and there's more to cover. In our next dev talk, we'll dive into the other major features coming with Radiant Wilds, including performance improvements, updates to the arena, a brand new 1v1 arena mode, the Armory, Destiny board changes, battle mount improvements, and more. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Albion.
Looks good. Looks good, Robin. Very
Looks
excited.
real good.
Very happy to see everybody in chat also being excited. I know when we saw I think when I was describing the first images here, you were like, it better not be like Fortnite. Like, it's not like Fortnite, but you said more vibrant. But it's not vibrant like that. It's, it's vibrant Albion, and
Yeah.
it stays Albion. That is very important. It's very important that it stays within the Albion like tile set. You know what I mean? Like, it has to still
Yeah.
feel the same. And it does.
When you load it
but
up,
it pops.
it's Albion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
The
like
spells really pop. Like, the way the lighting effects are on
Mhm.
translucent spells now, the way that you see like things that have lighting effects that come off of them, and how that changes the way that the spell that is the same spell, it hasn't been updated. Just the way the lighting affects it has been, it looks tremendous. And a lot of the game is still the same graphics that we had before, but the overlays on top of them have changed. The atmospheric lighting has changed, and that makes everything look better. This is the first visual update as part of several like that will be planned over the next, I don't know how long. It just period of time. That's what it's been told to me. It's just a period of time. And like
Yep.
Johannes said, this is not the first one. This will not be the last. This is part of an ongoing effort, and they haven't touched like player models yet, but that's part of the ongoing process. That is something they want to address, and
Mhm.
it's something I'm really looking forward to. Is the updated models and stuff like that in the future. But what they've done now with just lighting, effects, and the open world really looks good. Things do look more alive. And that's what the last update did, was added like literally a breath to the game. Things started to move a little bit. And a lot of it's the same stuff, just
Yeah.
with different effects. And it's amazing how, modern technology allows for a lot of this, that you can change the way that certain things are shown. I don't want to say it's as simple as changing a knob, because it is not, but it changes everything while changing a few things. And it's really going to make Albion pop, and it's going to be fantastic for the release on Xbox. And this is a great next step for Albion overall. I'm very much looking forward to the near term Albion releases. The near term future for Albion is very good throughout this year.
Also, some exclusive news for you guys, the viewers, as well. It was mentioned by Graymo in the video that you guys were going to be able to access the staging server with this new content update, Radiant Wild, soon. Well, that soon is today, ladies and gentlemen, because Radiant Wilds will be going on to staging server today. The plan is, hopefully in 18 minutes time, if everything goes to plan. Obviously, when updates get pushed to staging server, it can fail, and then they have to do it again. But the plan is that it will be on staging server today. So that means everyone can go onto the staging server, play with the new visuals, check them out, play the new content, 1v1 arenas, look at the Armory that's coming, the new 5v5 Crystal Arena map, and God knows whatever else is in there, because we don't even have the staging server patch notes yet, but we will have them very soon. Okay. I know that the dev team are currently looking into redoing the whole entire VFX streamlining pipeline for ZVZs especially, and that will massively increase performance in ZVZs.
Yeah.
Basically what they're trying to do is figure out a way where the game will only render and show you the VFXs of the things that you really kind of only need to know about during the fight, instead of showing every VFX across the whole entire battlefield all at the same time when they're being casted, which, I would say 80% of them are irrelevant to you during that time, depending on your positioning. They're looking to change that, so it only renders in, the small amount around you, so you know what's going on. You can read the battlefield a lot better, but also at the same time, that would greatly increase performance in ZVZs. And, going back to performance, because it's, it still gets talked about in Twitch chat right now, with the visual update that's coming. Graymo mentioned, hardware requirements are not changing with Radiant Wilds for Albion Online. And that goes for all, platforms, mobile, PC, Mac, going to be obviously on console.
Now, Robin,
and on top of that,
yeah,
we're also getting the first batch of performance upgrades.
Okay, so we are getting the first batch. So, that's the thing, is I want to know, are we getting the first batch of performance upgrades and additional tools for visual changes as well? Are we going to have the tools that allow us to change some of the settings, or is that something we can expect later? Because that's where I was. I know that this update is not supposed to impact performance in a negative way, simply from the update. And for some people, it will actually improve performance even with the visual update and improvements, right? But at some point in the near future, and I don't know if this is now, there will be additional tools to further improve your performance, so that, if you're somebody who's got a very high-end video card that can do a lot of special stuff, like AI improved stuff, you will get some of those some additional use out of that with the upgrade to Unity 6. But I don't know how much of that's coming in this upgrade.
But let's bring it up on screen so we can actually, look and talk about said Armory, because, spring update, obviously, right, there we go again. Radiant Wilds update that launches on April 13th, also got confirmed in the dev talk as well. So April 13th is launch day for Radiant Wilds. Brings the Armory system that we see on screen, obviously still a work in progress. Brings a new 1v1 arena mode, and also a new 5v5 Crystal League match with a bunch of other things as well. And we'll know more about all that in the next Dev Talk. But the Armory system here is probably the biggest, newest system that we'll have in Albion for a very long time. This will make the lives of all players of all skill levels so much more easier and better, right? From the newest of newest players all the way up to the veteran players. The Armory system will be the system that you go to pretty much day in, day out for all different sorts of activities. So it's shown here. We have the Armory system, we have a group size, and we have an activity type. And then obviously everything is put to all here, so we can kind of see what we're expecting. So we got open world solo, we got open world small group, open world group, open world ZVZ, corrupted dungeons, Hellgates 2v2, and the list goes on. I think there's 28 different topics or categories, so to speak, or contents that you can filter into. And basically for a player, say, let's do open world solo. So you would click open world solo as your activity type, and then you would go in and you would see the Armory system, and you can select what builds you want to play, and the game will pull data from the server, and in real time it will tell you what the best builds are, what the most reliable builds are, best survivability builds, best win rate builds. You can filter that through weapons as well, and it will give you the full builds. We're talking food, potions, cape, armor, weapon, ability sets, and you can change and look through different abilities and stuff like that. And that's for all pieces of content. That means everything's then in game. You don't have to go to an external website to look up a build. You don't have to look up, the Albion Online website character builder. You don't have to look at that anymore because, it's 4 years old anyway. But this is this is it. Everything in game. And it just allows players to play the game a little bit better and do the right thing, so to speak. Because I don't know how to PvE. I know how to ZVZ.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to PvE. So using this feature when it's added in on April 13th, I'll be able to, if I want to go PvE, I can just pull up a build and it will tell me everything I need to know. Food, potions, armor, weapon, ability set, bang, done.
So
all in game.
So you said what day, Robin?
April 13th.
Okay, because I'm on the official website, and it says next update Radiant Wilds coming November 24.
Nice. Is the website, guys. We all know the website is a little bit old. And when I say
This is
a little
actually
bit
talking
old,
about something that came in 2024. In November of 2024, there was a visual update. It's being fixed right now. Silent on NJ is on it. Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
If you click on it, it
these
goes
things
to the
happen.
right date.
Okay, it does. It
Yeah.
tells you the
All
right
right.
date.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right. So
God.
April 13th, right around the corner.
Let's jump into it then. So, Visual Overhaul. Obviously, we've been talking about that. We know that a bunch. Performance improvements are listed here. So, you're more technical minded, Chosen. You know the big words more than me. So maybe you cover performance improvements, what it says here first.
Hold on, I gotta zoom in and enhance here.
Enhance my eyes.
All right. At the heart of the update is the visual overhaul of the open world. Each of Albion's biomes have been refreshed with improved lighting, updated vegetation, enhanced ground textures, and new water graphics, stronger color grading, and cloud shadows. And biome-specific environmental effects make each region feel more alive, all while preserving the distinct visual style that defines Albion Online. Radiant Wilds also introduces major technical and performance improvements. as extensive work behind the scenes improves the overall health of the game client. Large-scale combat in particular should feel smoother and more stable, marking the start of longer-term improvements that will continue in future updates. Now, I imagine you want me to scroll down to the
Yeah,
subsection
yeah.
here for
The
performance
boxes.
improvements.
Yep,
Yep. All right.
yep.
So
That's what I was. Yep.
this update introduces a range of technical improvements aimed at delivering smoother gameplay, especially during large battles. Significant changes have been made to the way the client processes data, reducing CPU load and alleviating frame rate drops and stutters in demanding scenarios. Many more systems now use asynchronous loading, allowing the client to process spell effects and other visual elements more efficiently. Hundreds of visual effects have also been reviewed and optimized, while improvements to a VFX limiter help keep combat clearer and more stable during intense encounters. The performance monitor HUD now also includes a packet loss indicator, giving you better insight into your connection health. Together, these changes lay the groundwork for continued performance improvements in future updates.
Holy fucking shit! Finally, finally, I've got a. I've had a bottle of champagne ever since I lived at my old house, just sitting downstairs, waiting for this day. Now, I'm not popping it just yet, right?
No.
When it arrives and we see like what the improvements are going to actually bring to the player base for ZVZs and stuff, then I'll pop it. But you do not know how much stress and how much back and forth I've had with players over the last year, 2 years on this subject. Like, to see it finally start to, see changes come into the game, and hopefully, and I'm hoping, I'm praying, right, that the first steps bring tremendous improvements, and we see, a lot of the issues that we've been seeing, especially with stuttering and FPS spikes and desync and stuff like that. I'm hoping that that's hit first here, and then we see really good improvements going forward. So that bottle of champagne is it's still downstairs and it's staying there for now, but I am hoping and praying that I get to pop it next month and I can finally relax, and the players of the ZVZ space can finally enjoy their game mode again without having performance issues constantly being the bane of their existence when they're engaged in the piece of content that they love, right? So thank God. And finally we get to see and hear what systems are being added. We hinted at some of them, the VFX limiter, for example. I didn't know that was actually coming with this update, but there it is. I thought that was going to be a little bit later on. Armory system we touched on, obviously. And it says here, the Armory introduces a powerful new way to discover effective builds based on real gameplay data by analyzing equipment used by players across different activities. It highlights builds that perform well in each scenario, from solo dungeon runs to massive battles alongside your guild. Performance metrics for each equipment combination lets you analyze the strengths and weaknesses of different setups and quickly find a guild or gear that suits you and your playstyle. Browse builds by activity and equipment type, view recommended spell selections and consumables, and explore alternative variations to suit your preferences or budget.
But I do have to head out of here. I have another place I have to be. Robin and Bogle will be staying here with you. They have a couple more things they want to cover. And maybe they'll play the Dev Talk a time or two again so that everybody can see it. I know people are very excited to talk together while they watch this. And this is one of the cool things is it's great to see the video, right? It's great to watch it and stuff on your own on YouTube, pause and, rewind to look at it and stuff. But there's something else when you can hang out with a bunch of other people from Albion Online and just say, all watch it together and all get to share your opinions. make sure you guys pull some extra codes for these guys. They're having some really good feedback, and I know that we can't answer all of their questions. Sorry, buddy. There's nothing I can do about Russian pricing. It's just out of my hands. But yeah, there's a lot of good feedback in there and a lot of good questions. And have a great day, guys. Enjoy this update and check it out later today yourself on the test server. So very exciting. And also make sure that if you are available this weekend, you update that test server so you can play with Tazik and Lupak in their brand new community games where they use incredible GM tools that have been given to our man Tazik, and he creates in-game events that cannot be done anywhere else. So do check that out. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I will see you all again real soon, and have a great day, guys. Enjoy the update.
See you later on. Bogo, it's me and you now.
Hi,
It's me
Robin.
and you. Are
That
you
was-
getting on camera, Bogo?
No, not on camera.
No.
No.
Okay.
You
All
know,
right.
you know what it's like. I'm sitting here in the office, and then it shows it. It's like, oh, I gotta go. I'm like, that's
Huh?
that's a little short notice. But no, I had
He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
yeah. Well, I had some fun though watching this. There was a lot of pretty colors, dude.
Some of the extra colors weren't shown in the video, so
Wait, there's more?
Obviously, we're yeah, like
Oh,
so
boy.
when you're running for a swamp, I don't think it was shown on the dev talk, but there's a little bit of color splash now in the swamp biomes. There's purple flowers and stuff like that, and blues and stuff. It just pops a little bit more. It makes it a little bit more that you're actually kind of in the environment. I don't know how to describe it correctly, but
No, I get what you
it
mean.
looked
but,
really, really good.
Yeah, then I
But
can't
yeah,
wait to
the
download
vibrance
this,
is it, right? That's what makes the update and the visual overhaul look so good, and also clouds, Bogle. But yeah, some of the other things coming on April 13th, like we mentioned, the 1v1 arena. It says here a ranked limited time solo mode where players face off in the best of 3 duels, allowing them to test their PvP mettle in a controlled environment. Matches use item power caps to ensure fair fights, with ranking points on the line. If a duel runs too long, poison gas gradually shrinks the arena to force a decisive finish. Climb the ranks, earn rewards, and fight for your place on the leaderboard without risking your equipment. And then also, arena combat also gets a new new Crystal Arena map, introducing different choke points and flanking routes that shake up the familiar 5v5 format and open the doors to new strategies. Yeah, so the 1v1 arena, it's going to be an interesting one. What the rewards are looking like, what the leaderboards are going to look like, because I'm pretty sure one is going to be right at the tippity top.
Yeah, number
no one's
one,
gonna
right?
beat him.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Staging server means everyone gets access to it and plays the update early. But that also means that you guys, the players, can find bugs, you can provide feedback, because we're just under a month away now to Radiant Wilds going live onto the live game on the 13th of April. So that gives the devs time to make some adjustments, some tweaks, some fixes here and there to whatever you guys want to tell them what works, what doesn't work, especially with Xbox controller. People are going to be playing around with it for the first time. There's a lot of new systems, menus, controls to get to know and understand, and how that feels naturally as an already established player of Albion. Letting the devs know what works, what doesn't work ahead of the Xbox launch is major, right? So definitely provide your feedback when you have access to the test server. When is the test server up? Hopefully sometime today. We can't promise you that, but we are hoping that it is sometime today. If not, it will be definitely sometime this week. That's for sure. But we are hoping that it's sometime today. And then Bogle, quality of life improvements, because if it's if it's a content update, we get a handful of quality of life improvements as always.
Yeah,
It says here
I was looking at that, and then it went in the dev talk video. It was on all bright and colory, and I was like, "Oh, wait, this looks different." I mean, at first I was a bit shocked. I was like, "Oh no, are they changing my beloved Destiny board? Are they making it different?" But it reads in a way that the Destiny board is now easier to navigate, with nodes that unveil progressively and clearer connections. So that reads like a visual improvement other than changes.
So I think I can comment on this a little bit, and it does actually show it in the picture here on the website.
It does.
You'll notice that there is one line missing that is currently in game, but it's not here on the picture, and that's the Reaver line. The Reaver, obviously, it was changed a long time ago, sometime last year, I believe, where it doesn't actually impact anything anymore. It's just there, right? Reaver doesn't do anything. So Reaver has been removed. So that will mean, the bow and the leather armor kind of nudges a little bit. We're talking like a couple centimeters, but that's really it.
Okay.
In terms of that aspect. On the other side of things, where it says progression and clearer connections unveil themselves, that is going to be an option for players to tick and untick, where if a newer player joins the game, they're not going to see, everything on the Destiny board all at once, because that's pretty overwhelming, right? To look at. It's basically going to unlock and show players as they unlock the game. It gives them a sense of progression. So it unlocks the lines to different armors, weapons, crafting, gathering as you go. But you can also untick it and it unveils everything all at once. So it's up to the player, but that's it. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully I don't get fired for announcing that. Because we're tinkering on the edge here, because, staging server, everyone's going to know it, hopefully within, a couple hours sometime today. Or, we don't.
There is one thing here in this quality of life section that wasn't really mentioned yet. The next one we knew about, which is battle mounts receive a balance update buff or pass. And now contribute to the disarray debuff to encourage more varied large-scale combat. I do believe we have talked about in the past before, but on the bottom it says, loot all items dropped by mobs with a single button, speeding up PvE farming and reducing unnecessary clicking.
Finally, a loot all items, only for PvE though, it's not PvP, which makes sense, because that would be
I was gonna ask
a little bit
little
bit broken. So yeah, yes, exactly,
and
right?
overweight.
So yeah, a loot all items dropped by mobs with a single button. Now, it's always interesting with wording, right? Especially on the news posts and stuff, because I can already see the questions in chat, and I'm asking the same thing. Does this include PvE chests, right? Can I just click a button that loots the loot split that I got from the chest without clicking, potentially 10, 15 different buttons all at once? Because loot from mobs, it's normally one rune, tier 4, and one tier 6 soul. Yeah. So it would make sense if this was for PvE chests as well. So we'll see.
But that would be I mean, there is loot setting option, right, where you can set it open and so on, right? And that would be yoinky. Okay.
For if you're in a party, you can either do loot split, so each individual party member has their own individual loot split, or you can put it as open and everybody in the party has access to every single item in that chest. So
I mean, I would
Yeah,
take the trade-off of having that happen once in a while versus having or not having the option. I think that would be a big enough quality of life for me. But does that mean everybody will carry around a bunch more T4 runes now suddenly?
they would loot them and then they would throw them out their bag.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the thing I see left over, right? That's the one thing if I walk around in the open world, it's like, oh, a loot bag, and it's like, oh wait, no, it's a tier 4 rune.
Hopefully later on today, no promises met though. We will be getting access to staging server for Radiant Wilds as well. So you'll be able to jump on the staging server and check everything out that will be coming in less than a month's time. It's kind of nuts that I'm saying those words, Bogle, because this year seems to be like a blur already, and I can't believe we're about to, be hitting our technically second major update, because Realms Divided Part 2, even though it was a mini update, it was still an actual content update, and that is something that we haven't had before, right? So, yeah, it's that, and then Xbox console launch sometime afterwards, and then
dragons
later on, Keepers event, and then dragons in the summer. Yeah, I know, dude.
It's a
lot
busy
to keep
year
up
for
with.
Albion. Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, and that's only the first half of the year, Bogle. We don't even know what's planned for the second half of the year yet.
Oh boy. All right. Damn,
I know, dude.
Good time to be playing Albion. That's for sure.
It is indeed. It is indeed. But for us here on Albion TV, we're going to start wrapping up today's Dev Talk premiere show. We'll give away 2 more premium codes to you guys, the audience. So if your name is mentioned via Nightbot in Twitch chat, you have won 7 days of premium. So check your Twitch whispers. You will get a code that you can input into the game or website. And that whisper will come from the official Albion 9 Twitch account. It has a little purple check mark next to it. And there we go. Yeah, I mean, hella hyped. I'm even more hyped to see the full patch notes for staging server, hopefully later on today if all goes to plan. But again, no promises there. It may be sometime this week. We'll wait and see. And then we actually get to look at what is coming. And we'll be here tomorrow with an AO Daily Show where we'll be most likely on staging server looking at everything in the game that's coming with Radiant Wild. So for you guys, if you're new here, make sure you're following the channel to be notified when we go live. We do coverage every single week of the season, all season long. So that's 2 months of content every single week, starting on Wednesdays, going all the way through to Saturday. We do war report coverages on all servers. We do AO daily shows. We do PvP shows, arenas, hellgates, faction warfare shows, Q&A shows. We do a lot here on the Twitch channel. And, we give away premium codes throughout nearly every single show, apart from the war reports. So, yeah, it's a good time. And this is the place to, get the news and the new changes to Albion pretty much before anyone else. So make sure you're following the channel to be notified when we go live. But Bogle, any finishing comments from you, good sir, before we bow out today?
No, sir. I'm looking forward for the test server. I'm looking forward to seeing it in high quality full screen. When you sit down and actually experience it yourself. And then I'm looking also forward to the weekend where not only will we be doing cool stuff on the test server, but probably, showing some of that off, I guess, not only on Saturday, but throughout the whole week here on the channel. So it's an exciting time, as I said earlier. And, pretty pictures, pretty colors. That's one of the things that get me, Robin. I'm excited.
It's a whole new world. Ah, dear, oh dear. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us here today for the Dev Talk premiere show. We'll raid off to one of our content creators that is currently live, so you guys can carry on earning your Twitch drops if you want to with them. We'll be back here tomorrow starting at 15, 16. I can't remember the
One of the
schedule
two.
now
Yeah,
off the top of my head.
We'll probably do some
Is it
faction
50?
warfare first at 15.
Yeah.
And then go into the EU war report at 18. We'll be busy tomorrow and the rest of the week for sure.
Indeed, indeed. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. And of course, wherever you are in the world, we hope you have a glorious morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Adios.
Bye.